We were talking about the fuel allowance, and one listener, Bernadette, actually got in touch with us. She made contact with us because she was calling for the fuel allowance to be increased due to the fact that the government is basically asking people to stay at home now with the current COVID-19 restrictions. Rachel got in touch with us from County Mayo. Rachel, what do you want to say on this?
Well, I just wanted to basically say why I think the fuel allowance should be increased. I'm the child of a single parent, and I can say that it's not enough to cover the cost of heating a house. And we often would have to go without heating. The winter months are really expensive as it is with electricity, food, and Christmas. And now that we're staying at home, you have to keep heating the house, and it's very hard. In our house, we have a range which is extremely slow, and that takes a lot of coal. Which would be okay, only for our house is so badly insulated that the heat just leaves so quickly.
Okay.
We put on the fire and it's okay, but then by the time I wake up in the morning, I can see my breath again, and our windows are really bad. They're supposed to have two handles, but almost every window is missing one, so they have a really bad draft, and we have to put kitchen paper in between to try and stop it, but it doesn't really help, and the heat still goes. Even in our rooms, we have to cover the air vents because they just make our rooms really, really cold no matter what we do. And the front door, again, is just another place that, no matter what we do, the heat just leaves. So my mum might put on a fire, but it makes no difference to us.
So you're actually, Rachel, you're putting kitchen paper, is that what you said?
Yeah, kitchen paper. Sometimes in my own room, I might put a scarf in it, but it doesn't make a difference. I study in my room with a blanket on me, I wear a scarf, and I have a candle lit beside me to try and stay warm, but it doesn't make a difference.
So you get the €28 per week, this the fuel allowance, and obviously now you're at home, I'm sure, a lot more, Rachel, with the current restrictions.
Yeah, of course. My mum and my sister, we're all at home now with the restrictions and stuff like that, and it's very hard. With how much my mum gets, we don't have enough coal to put on a fire every day. We can't even get the 40 kg bags of coal because we're a house of girls, so we can't lift them. Me and my mum try to lift the 20 kg ones together, but they don't last very long either, so it's very hard. I don't think people realise the difference an increase would make to families like mine. Yeah.
Even an increase of Bernadette that was on the show here yesterday that suggested this idea, talked about, potentially just for the next, I suppose, for as long as these restrictions are going to be in place and people are being asked by government to stay at home, she suggested doubling the fuel allowance per week, so it would go from €28 to 56. Would even that extra €28, Rachel, would that make a big difference?
Honestly, when a family needs the fuel allowance, it's because they need it or else they'll have nothing. And when you're in a situation like this, even a tenner makes a difference. For it to be doubled, change our lives almost, because that would mean we're not sitting in the cold. That would mean when I go to bed at night, my mum, every night, she holds my hands because they're so icy, and she tries to warm them up because she doesn't want me to go to bed cold. But she tries her best, but the current amount can only be stretched so far. Many other costs people are going to pay for, and the 28 isn't enough.
What age are you, Rachel?
21.
21. And you're at home at the moment. Did you say you're studying at the moment?
Yeah, I'm currently studying in NUIG.
It's listening to you talk and listening to you describe, the scenes in your home with your mum and your sister. It nearly sounds like you're describing something from the 1970s or 60s.
Yeah, Ireland is said to be a wealthy country, but when you're in a situation like ours, it doesn't feel like it at all.